What is this guy on? That's not promoting inclusiveness and diversity. No matter how many times you say it, that's not what you're doing. I think he's lost it. I don't think he's fit to be CEO.
Expensify, their CEO sent out an email to all 10 million of their customers saying that all those customers should be voting for Joe Biden. You can bet, this caught a lot of media attention. There's a bunch of interviews. Why did you do it? And all this kind of stuff. I thought there's a few quotations in here that I thought was pretty interesting. So, right, here's the quote. Anything less than a vote for Biden is a vote against democracy. You look at the language objectively, right? He's saying if you vote for the Republican candidate, you're voting against democracy. This is a smart guy. This guy has built a great company. He's a smart guy. Look at some of this language in here. Nobody would criticize us if we did nothing. That's actually incorrect. We just had the Coinbase CEO. We covered him a few episodes ago. The Information, a technology Silicon Valley media group, came out lambasting the CEO of Coinbase when the CEO of Coinbase just came out and said, we're not going to take any sides. We're going to remain neutral because we need to stay focused on our company mission. Jessica Lesson, the editor at The Information, didn't really take too kindly to that, and we covered it on the show. Actively in her email to all of the Information subscribers was supporting factions of employees inside of Coinbase to not leave and take the severance package that the Coinbase CEO offered everyone if they had a problem with taking a neutral stance. And she implored people to stay strong and to, carry the fight on and kind of have these dissenting factions inside of Coinbase, fight the good fight, basically. Right. So it's not true. Actually, if you say we should be neutral and not take a public stance, actually, the biased media will come after you for being neutral. So here, Expensify depends on a functioning society and economy. Not many expense reports get filed during a civil war. I'm not editing the guy's. This is from the CEO. He's saying we can't have a business if we go into civil war. God, it's like everyone is tripping on ayahuasca. Jack Dorsey openly talks about just going on ayahuasca trips. What is this guy on? As CEO of this business, it's my job to plot a course through any storm. And all evidence suggests that another 4, parentheses, or as Trump has hinted, 8 or more. I mean, the guy, he's just he cannot think objectively. Years of Trump leadership will damage our democracy to such an extent I'm obligated on behalf of shareholders to take any action I can to avoid it. I think he's lost it. I don't think he's fit to be CEO. It was a calculated choice, Barrett said. While it may be risky, he knew that sending it to more people meant that the message could be more effective. This wasn't me just firing off an email out of the blue. This was the result of an inclusive process that really engaged the whole company. It's an oxymoron. He's saying we have an inclusive process, we have an inclusive culture, yet if you don't vote for Biden, you're voting against democracy. These are just paradoxes, right? It's an oxymoron. It makes any logical person, you take the partisan out of it, your head explodes. Doesn't make any sense. The discussion was really, how do we be very inclusive about engaging with dissenting opinions and treat them respectfully? His response is, well, I sent an email to all of our customers saying, if you don't vote for the Democrat, you're against democracy. That's his answer to being very inclusive. We want to have a diverse environment because diversity creates a wide range of different opinions, and that diversity of perspectives brings creativity. It's kind of like, if you say diversity 10 times, boom, you'll be diverse. The guy is not living in reality. A group of top tier employees, Expensify's equivalent of a Senate, that then makes a call after weighing all of the different arguments presented on what the company's official position will be. In this case, that group concluded that Trump is a threat to democracy. Trump is a threat to democracy, and that the company's policy would be to endorse Biden. So this article came out, maybe less than a week from his email, and they said that so far no employees have resigned. Coinbase, by contrast, ended up having more than 5% of its employees take a severance package. So there's no word on whether or not Expensify is offering a severance package to employees that don't feel comfortable. I think they should. And I think that they are going to have pretty serious fallout, not just from employees who clearly are not going to feel comfortable to speak up because it's clearly not an inclusive culture. And I think actually legally, this brings them into, a very interesting, there are a lot of workplace protections for employees that are discriminated against. And by the way, ideological discrimination is very real. Think about it. Religion's an ideology. If you are discriminated in the workplace against your religion, big no-no, a big lawsuit for you. What is the difference between having a political belief versus having a religious belief? I actually don't think there is much of a difference. And I think that this whole jar, it's all mumbo jumbo. Now let's look at this, right? I'd be curious if we could get, if we get someone on from, this is First Round Capital, prominent VC firm. And at First Round, they had this article here where they're talking about Expensify's CEO and the tactics that doubled its customer base in just 6 months. They're praising the ground that David Barrett walks on. I wonder if First Round will be so supportive of David's decision in the past week or so. David has quickly come out to say that they haven't seen any customers switch. But that was 2 days after the email came out. I think they are going to see fallout from a customer base. I think they are going to see fallout from employees. And I ultimately think that the company is worse off for the actions taken because you do need inclusiveness. And inclusiveness is promoting political and ideological freedom within your company. And when your company takes a stance that it's this way, or you're not supporting democracy, that's not promoting inclusiveness and diversity. No matter how many times you say it, that's not what you're doing. The employees and the shareholders are worse off for it. And ultimately, it comes down to the CEO. I think these two CEOs in particular have done an injustice to all of those aforementioned parties. Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.